Hello all, bow tie security guy here. Wanted to talk about neurodiversity. I know I've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again, but I want to talk about it from the perspective of why people with ADHD kind of do the things that they do. One of the biggest things and one of the most frustrating things is talking to someone with ADHD. If they don't have a fidget, like I always have a fidget in my hand, like at all times, focus is very difficult. Our brain is going a billion different ways. We're making random connections to stuff. We're doing all kinds of things. When we are thoroughly engaged in your conversation, we're going to do things that are very annoying. One, we're going to talk too much. That is a very, very common thing with ADHD. You talk more than you need to because your mind's connecting all these little dots going a bunch of different ways. Two, we will interrupt you, not because we're rude, because we had an idea and then we have to say it. It is something I personally mentally fight where I have to wait for someone to finish. It's taken years of practice and working on it to not interrupt people while they're talking. And if you are a slow talker, I am slowly dying inside while I wait for you to finish. I used to support ABC New York, and I loved ABC New York because when I would talk to those people, I could talk really, really fast, and everybody talked at the same speed. It wasn't a big deal at all. That was just how it was, and it was fantastic because that's how my mind works. It's constantly making connections. Another thing we will do is while you're talking, we will be making neural connections in the background. It's called porpoising or dolphining, where we will dive deep into our subconscious, making all these connections to what you're saying because we're thoroughly engaged. And then we will come out of it and we will say, like, hey, did you know that the African lioness is the one who does most of the hunting in the pride? And you'll go, what what does that have to do with anything that we were just talking about? But your mind made that connection and you, for some reason, needed to share it. These are things that you learn as somebody with ADHD to fight. You fight your urges to speak, you fight your urges to talk up. Um, but there's certain cases where it's very difficult for you to do so. One, if you have a lot of passion about something, for me, cyber or like injustice or bullying, those are things where I just can't stay quiet. I can't force myself to act neurotypical. I just say what I say and I say what I mean at that moment, and that's just kind of what it is. But a lot of times these behaviors are taken as rude or somebody mansplaining or being a jerk. I didn't even know I was doing these things until years later. So next time somebody is interrupting you, or getting, kind of jumping in and throwing in their own ideas and kind of cutting you off, I know it sounds terrible, but I promise you, not all of us are being rude. Some of us just simply can't help ourselves, because of a neural deficiency in our brain. Um, and it takes an active effort and years of training to be able to function in a way that is more conducive to a back and forth conversation. Um, Even now, I know when I'm gonna go off on, like, I've learned my triggers and I've learned when I'm gonna do something. So like I'm at least able to explain to someone, okay, hey, I'm gonna talk for a bit here. I just need to get this out. And I've had leaders over the last few years who've been very supportive of that. But you have to understand the way that an ADHD mind works is just very, very odd. But I will tell you, one of the most interesting aspects of an ADHD mind is how we are in a crisis. Because our mind operates in a way of making points and constantly, I don't have the constant dialogue that a lot of people have in their brain. I have a more visual dialogue. Um, I know that sounds weird, but basically, my mind is always thinking through scenarios and visualizing them and seeing them. Like I've written multiple books in my head. I've at right now, as I'm having this conversation, I'm working on solving some technical issues that I'm having, or I'm writing part of a document that I'm having. But like, I don't ever like have an internal conversation. Like a lot of ADHD people have a voice, like a constant like voice that's talking, that's kind of a track to their life. asking them if they remembered to do this or did that, and it's a constant distraction. For me, it is very much a visual thing, and some ADHDers are. But I wanted to record this video because many of us, and I spent most of my career not realizing I was rude and impassionate, and that I didn't care about people's feelings. I just spoke true, and I had no burden of no feeling if I hurt your feelings because I just simply didn't know. I couldn't understand why you would be upset being wrong and being corrected because I personally, when I am wrong, I like to be corrected immediately. And this isn't a video about making an excuse for this behavior. But it is one to give you a little more understanding that not all the people who are interrupting you, not all the people who are talking over you are doing it in a malicious way. They're doing it because they're really excited or they have an idea and they have to share it. And a lot of us in the technical fields are kind of, we gravitate towards this field specifically because it's very helpful for neurodiverse people. Having ADHD in cyber and having hyperfocus ADHD like I have is a superpower. Like I can learn things incredibly fast and other people can too. So we gravitate towards these fields where we're constantly learning and constantly chasing that dopamine rush. But yeah, next time an ADHD person is chatting with you and they interrupt you or they bring up some crazy thing, um, that's why. I just wanted to put that out there. I hope everyone is having an awesome time getting closer to the holidays. And hopefully, anyone who's looking for a job finds a job. I know it's rough right now, but I'm wishing all of you great, great success. Good luck out there.